Ryan, noted psychic and medical intuitive, is ready to answer your personal questions, even those you never knew you could ask. For more than 25 years, as she developed and refined her intuitive skills, Julie used her knowledge as a successful inventor and businesswoman to help others. Now, she wants to help you to grow, heal, and get the answers you've been longing to hear. Do you have a question for someone who's transitioned? Do you have a medical issue? What about your pet's health or behavior? Perhaps you have a loved one who's close to death and you'd like to know what's happening. Are you on the path to fulfill your life's purpose? No matter where you are in the world, take a journey to the other side and ask Julie Ryan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We have a whole bunch of callers on hold, and I will get to them in a few minutes. But boy, do I have a surprise for you this evening. And the surprise's name is Stewart Pearce. Hi, Stewart.
Hello.
Hello.
Wonderful to be with you, Julie. And
Wonderful.
And I've already spoken with several of the wonderful people that are calling in. I'm so impressed. All these people that you've congregated. How amazing.
Oh, everybody. Stewart stayed up late. It's way past his bedtime. He's calling from London. So, Stewart, what time is it?
It's 10 minutes past 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my gosh. You're going to turn into a, white rat or something.
I'm a nocturnal guy, I think I'm a bat, actually. I come alive at night. In other words, I don't normally go to bed until 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm very much, I love the stillness of the night because the veils are parted. And as a result of that, I can pick up so much information about what's going on in the world.
That's right. That's right. Everybody, Stewart is a fascinating guy. I got to be on his show a couple of weeks ago. And Stewart, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. I have to tell you something first, though, that I haven't told you this yet. My dear friend, Christiane Northrup, Dr. Northrup, introduced us, as you know, and she said to me before I spoke with you for the first time, she said, you're going to feel like you're talking to Mr. Carson from Downton Abbey when you talk to this guy. And I said, okay. So then I talked to her after you and I spoke the first time. I said, you were right. It is like Mr. Carson. I said, Stewart probably coached Mr. Carson.
Well, I did actually, but I'd rather be referred to as being Lord, whatever he was, played by Hugh
Lord
Bond.
Grantham.
Hugh Bond is an ex-student of mine. So I'd much rather be associated with the Lord than with the butler.
Oh, I love it. Yes, but
anyway,
I think
Carson. Yes, Carson was the butler because he was called Carson rather than Mr. Carson.
That's right.
What do I say? What would you like to know, Julie?
Well, I think what your background is and your claim to fame is. You worked with a lot of really famous people, and tell everybody about that you were a trained actor and that kind of thing, and then how you developed into doing the work that you're doing now.
Well, I suppose where it starts is that I've always had a huge fascination with sound, and particularly with the sound of the spoken word. And that was largely in early childhood as a result of the fact that I had a learning disability in the sense that I was, or an alternative ability, in the sense that
we're getting a bunch of static, Stewart, all of a sudden.
Which meant that I could hear sound and see sound, but I couldn't read sound.
Stewart, can you hear me?
That came later in the middle of my adolescence, so around 15 or 16, through singing. I learned to read through flow because in being associated with the whole substance of reading, it was always highly punctuated and therefore very stressful. In other words, I was being encouraged to read in a staccato rhythm rather than in a flowing rhythm. However, so to leap forward, as a result of my fascination with sound and with telling stories, I became involved in the theatre world as an actor, and for most of the 70s I worked as an actor. And then a very organic process. I won't go into the story because it's quite a long-winded story, but Spirit spoke to me, and automatically I walked through another portal and became a voice coach. And one of my first clients was a lady who has now passed, by the name of Margaret Thatcher, who took over the Conservative Party, which is, rather like the Republican House of Representatives, so to speak. And I worked as a voice coach, but I'm also a raging mystic, and have been all my life, in the sense that I've had the ability to see the multidimensional universe, and particularly to be with angels. And so in 1987, having developed not just a practice as a voice coach, but also, as it were, on the side, developing the ability to read energy fields, to read preternatural experiences or supernatural visitation, to provide psychic readings for the people who came to me, I was part of the Harmonic Convergence Festival in a very powerful energy center in the United Kingdom called Glastonbury. And I was there working in a small crystal store that had been opened by a friend, and meeting lots of people who wanted very swift 15 or 30-minute readings, because it seemed that many people had arrived in this epicenter for this very unique festival called the Harmonic Convergence, which, for those people who are unfamiliar, it indicated that a grand trine opened in the heavens, and the Mayan people said that 144,000 rainbow light warriors were awakened by this grand trine, which I believe was a healing wave that enabled us to move forward, I suppose, what is it now, through 25 years to the precession of the equinoxes in 2012, specifically on December the 21st. And so there I was in Glastonbury, as I was saying, and during the lunch break I decided I would go and sit on the hill, which is known as the Tor, which in ancient Celtic means sacred hill. And whilst I meditated to regain energy, I was met by 12 extraordinary angels called the Angels of Atlantis. And so really over the last 33 years I've been teaching much of the extraordinary information that the angels provide. And at the core of their work is the ability to be able to understand that we each have a note. And so this is where the angels fit in with the substance of sound. And when we sound this note, we move into the very core harmony of our beings, and as a result of finding that harmony, all of our organic fiber becomes balanced or harmonized, and as a result of that, we move into a sense of our personal power. And so the work has many different regions or extrapolations that I move into, and that, in a sense, that's basically what I do and have been for the last 40-odd years.
And you worked with somebody that we all loved, who's deceased now, who was very famous. So tell everybody about that. And there's a lot of static on your end, Stewart. Stewart, can you hear me?
In the sense, I worked with some very extraordinary people. And interestingly, most of the more significant people that I've worked with have been ladies, and ladies that have had a very remarkable call of destiny. And in 1995, I was approached by someone who really needed some precise work in terms of allowing the very extraordinary status of her being to be more fully communicated in the world. And this was a lady by the name of Diana, Princess of Wales. And so I worked with her for the last 2 years of her life, very consistently, as her voice and presence coach, as a life coach, if you like. And then, unfortunately, she was taken with us. So about 2 years ago, I started writing a book about the experiences that I had with her. And this book was published at the beginning of this year, 2012. And it's called Diana, the Voice of Change, which, if anybody's interested, you can find on Amazon.
That's right.
Unfortunately, it's not quite yet in the major bookstores, because we've had 1 or 2 issues with the publishing company. But I will be published by a wonderful publishing house in New York City at the end of this year. And so the books will be in Barnes & Nobles.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you and I have a project that we just figured out that we're going to do together. And by the way, everybody, the Stewart show that I was on it's all on my social media at Ask Julie Ryan. So you can get a copy or you can get a link to that. But Stewart, tell everybody, we've just got about a minute left. Tell everybody before the break, tell everybody about our new project real quickly.
Yeah, well, I mean, Julie and I have met, and we feel this extraordinary vibrational currency between us. And we're both fascinated by the nature of the way that spirit, and particularly angels, are appearing at this time in this third great wave of angelology since the beginning of creation. And particularly around the substance of the way that when we've lived our 40 year and 10, or however many years we live, how we're meeting a unique experience as we move into death. And so what we're really interested in finding ways of doing is communicating to our brothers and sisters that it isn't the trauma that so many people make it out to be, although of course our bodies become they can be quite gooey because they yield to body fluids breaking and so forth and so forth. But if we can actually consider it from a spiritual perspective, there's an extraordinary sense of transcendence as soon as we move back into spirit. And of course, we're met immediately by angelic guardians and other spirit guardians or ascended masters that come to take us into the halls of learning.
Right.
And so Julie and I haven't even talked about this fully, but we're going to create a series of conversations that will thoroughly explore the whole substance of dying, breathing.
And so we're going to need to go to break, Stewart, so I'm going to let you go. Everybody, stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to the Ask Julie Ryan show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted that you're staying with us this evening. We've got a whole bunch of callers, and our next one is Miss Patty. Let me go to Miss Patty here. Hi, Patty. Hi, Patty.
Hi there. Oh,
how are you, girl?
Oh, I'm pretty good. I'm kind of blown away from listening to Stewart talk about the angels, because today, and I'll tell you what's going on with me, I yelled at my angels and said, "Where are you? Why can't you help me?" And I never have done that before. And then I went into some doubt. And then when he talked about the angels, I'm just so happy right now. So thank you so much. And thanks for calling on me.
Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
Exciting. What?
Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
I'm calling from California, and the reason I'm calling is I have had this burning in my body lately. Usually it wakes me up about 6:30 every morning, and once I get up and I walk around for a while, I feel better, and it starts kind of in the tongue and the shoulders, but lately I've had it all over my body, and I don't know what's causing it. And I just wondered if you can see that, or...
Yeah, let me get you on my radar, Patty, and we'll see what's going on. How this works is I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit, because we're all spirits attached to a body having a human experience. And when we're attached to a body, we vibrate more slowly simply because the body has mass. So when I raise my vibrational level, my spirit connects to yours, and I watch a laser beam come from my body here in Birmingham, Alabama, and it's going to hook into you in Northern California. And then I'm going to have a hologram of you in my mind's eye, and I'm going to envision shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head, and it will be as if I'm looking at an X-ray or a CT scan or an MRI. So here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama. And you and I have worked together a lot over the years, so you know how this goes. I explain it every show for people who are first-time listeners, Patty. And as you know, too, I'm very descriptive about what I'm seeing because it helps implement the healing into the body, if you can envision what I'm seeing. So, and you know my analogies are kind of hilarious at times. So, got you. Yeah, you're very inflamed. It looks like inflammation looks like red fog over body parts. Your whole body is red. So I'm going to get that calmed down. I do that with the anti-inflammatory energy, Patty. It's kind of a royal blue color, and I put that on your whole body to get that calmed down so I can see underneath and see what's going on with that. You look like snow on a TV screen that's malfunctioning. You know, back in the day when the TV stations would sign off at the end of the day, and they'd just see that static or that snow on the screen after they played the national anthem. That's what you look like. So I'm grounding you with that. I'm watching a heavy metals healing happen on you, Patty. And it's a big magnet that's surrounding you, and it's going up and down the height of your body, and it's pulling out little magnetic, little metallic particles out of your system. So that's mold. That can be from mold. Have you had any mold exposure?
I don't know.
It can be from other toxins. Yeah, it can be from other toxins. Google heavy metals cleansing or clearing. Broccoli is really good. The cruciferous vegetables are really good. Drink tons of water for that, and Google it. I think that may be something you've been exposed to something, and
it feels like that.
Yeah, it does. That's what it looks like. Have you had any vaccines lately, like a flu shot or a?
Oh well, I will tell you. I had pneumonia. When the COVID first started. I had just gotten back from Kenya, so I had a lot of different pills, things that they gave me, shots and everything to go on the trip. And then I came back, and I was home for a week, and I went into the hospital for 10 days with pneumonia. And then they didn't know what it was, so they gave me 3 different types of antibiotics, and I almost died. And when I came through, I mean, I've walked every day, but I'm wondering if that whole thing is trying to work through me now. And I don't know if I had COVID or not. It was right at the time that it was just starting to break out.
I get a no. I don't believe you've had it, Patty, but I do believe that the antibiotics, and I know the antibiotics mess up our guts. And so that's something too. If you email me, julie@askjulieryan.com. I will send you a link to a gut biome test you can do at home. You don't need a doctor's order. Anybody listening, you're welcome to it too. Just email me, julie@askjulieryan.com, and I'll send you a link for a little bit of a discount. And Patty, food is the best medicine, so I think it'll make sense for you to figure out what's going to be the best food for you to eat and what foods to avoid. But in the short run, I would really beef up on the cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower.
Can I ask you something? I've been drinking 16 ounces of celery juice every morning. Is that a good thing for me to do?
Right now, I get a yes on that.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're detoxing.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to call you directly, I think, and talk to you more.
Okay.
All
right.
Thank you so much. Oh my God.
You're welcome. Okay. Be safe out there with all those fires.
Oh, I will, and you too.
Okay,
I mean,
take care.
You just have a great time. And
all righty. Bye, Patty.
Bye. Bye.
Our next caller is Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Let me get you. Sarah, you got to unmute yourself there. There you go. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Julie. Hi. Thanks very much for taking my call.
You're welcome. Please tell everybody where you're calling in from.
I'm calling from Berlin, Germany. So from
oh my
overseas.
Gosh! So what time is it there?
It is 2:30 a.m.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
You're interrupting your beauty sleep for us.
Yeah, but I really wanted to call it. So, yeah, I'm very glad it worked out. So, no worries. It's worth
You
it.
bet. You got a question for me?
Yes. So, I had a personal session with you in June where we found out.
You know what, Sarah? We're going to need to take a quick break. So stay with us. Everybody, you're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show, and we'll be right back after a couple-minute break. Welcome back. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show, and I'm Julie, your host, and we're talking with Miss Sarah from Berlin. God bless her. She is up in the middle of the night. Sarah, I appreciate you giving up some of your beauty sleep to talk with us this evening. So you were saying that we spoke on a private session a few weeks ago, and you had a question about that?
Yeah, so we had a private session in June where we found out that the various symptoms and pain that I've been dealing with for over 2 years are all related to an overabundance of yeast, like systemic yeast overgrowth in my entire body. And I've been on the nystatin, and I did the gut biome test, so I'm doing that now and so on, and drinking tons of water. And one of the biggest problems for me is incredible pain, apparently from the yeast in my bladder and urethra area, and that is just not going away at all. So I'm wondering, can you maybe have a look? Is there something? I think I probably need to take something that also works locally in the vaginal area somehow, because the nystatin only works locally in the intestines, right? And it's like really that the pain in the bladder area is like where it's really driving me insane, where I sometimes even have to cry, and the urologist cannot help me. She does not believe in the yeast, and could you maybe have a look at that again, or could we ask Spirit what I can do to take care of that particular area?
Yes. And I've been there. I don't think as intense as you are feeling, but I've been there, and it's certainly really painful. And the doctors say, well, we've done a UTI test, and you don't have a UTI, so you're fine. And you're saying, oh, no, really, I'm not. I'm in pain. So,
she actually says, oh, I think you have a UTI again. It's probably bacteria. And I said, no, it's not, because I know the difference, because I've had tons of bacterial bladder inflammations. It's different, but still a pain driving me insane.
So what I'm doing is I'm doing a healing on your bladder, and getting the yeast is dying. It is getting out. It's just that your bladder's been so inflamed for so long, Sarah, I think is what's going on in your bladder and your GI system. So what I'm doing is I'm putting this energetic balm, BALM. It looks like really thick white face cream that you see in a jar. And it has anti-inflammatory properties, and it has rocket booster fuel in it, I swear, for healing tender tissues. So I'm slathering that all over the inside of your bladder, and then down into your urethra as well, down. And that will help. Are you taking nystatin? How many times a day are you taking it?
I'm taking it, so I'm only eating 2 times a day, because I'm like eating any food, even the food from the test still gives me a lot of pain, like really any food. So I'm eating only twice per day, and I'm taking 4 tablets twice a day, so 8 tablets a day.
Okay. Yeah. Is that what the doctor thought you should take? That sounds like a lot.
No, the doctors here, nystatin here is an over-the-counter drug.
Oh, okay, so it's not as strong.
They have no idea. All the doctors I went to, so I researched and so on, and it felt like a good number with the 8.
Okay, and I don't know what the dosage is for that, but
it is 500,000 international units per tablet.
Okay.
So I think it is pretty much the same as in the States.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You'd have to ask a pharmacist about that, because I don't know that. But hang in there. You look better. Your GI tract is absolutely better.
And do you
So-
think should I take an antifungal cream in addition or something as well, or not?
No. Oh, as far as vaginally, you mean like a monostat or something like that?
Yes.
Let me ask. Is it in Sarah's best interest to use monostat while she's clearing up the yeast? I get a yes on that, Sarah. I think your intuition's right on with that.
Okay.
So you might want to try it, and that should be over the counter as well, correct?
Yeah, or I could actually, they would give me a prescription for that if I asked for it. But okay.
Yeah. I don't know
Okay,
that it's
that's
going to
good to
help the
know.
bladder, but it's going to help the systemic yeast.
Yeah. Okay.
that,
And there is
yeah.
there is no permanent damage to my urethra or bladder or anything, right? Because I was so worried because sometimes it hurts and burns so much that it almost feels like acid in my urethra or bladder, that I wondered, did it somehow break it or something? But
No,
not,
no.
right?
No, I believe you're going to completely heal from this. It's just going to take some time just because you have such a severe case of it. So
Okay.
hang in there.
But it's
and,
healing, right?
It's healing. Yeah, you're looking a lot
Okay.
better. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, go
Okay.
to bed. Sweet dreams.
Thanks. Yes. Thanks a
bet.
lot, Julie.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
calling. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, let's go to Marcia next. Hi, Marcia.
Hi.
Hi. How are
Can you hear
you?
me?
I can.
Oh, good. I am calling about my shoulder pain. My left
Okay.
shoulder, about almost weeks ago, I hurt it. I mean, I guess it's my shoulder. I'm not quite sure. It's my shoulder, upper arm. Working out. I work out a lot, and I kind of ignored it and worked out a couple more days, and I shouldn't have. So it's been about a week. I haven't done anything with it, but I don't know. I don't know if it's my rotator cuff or
Mm-hmm.
I can't exactly pinpoint. So I don't know if I'm seeing or can see and tell me what to do. I mean, I know I need to rest, but it's really hard for me to rest. But I have been.
Yeah. Where are you calling us from, Marcia?
Massachusetts.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is get you on my radar. Here comes my laser beam. Heading up to you in Massachusetts from Sweet Home, Alabama. And got you. All right. Left shoulder. That was what I got before I even got you on my radar, was you've torn your rotator cuff. And I can see a little bit of a tear. If I put a face of a clock, the round face of a clock, over your arm, and it's like a cuff around your arm. It's in the 1 o'clock position where the 1 is. So what I'm doing is I'm stitching that up, and then I'm going to put a little dollop of stem cell energy on there, and that'll help it heal really quickly. The rotator cuff will heal on its own. A lot of people have surgery for it, and it usually heals faster when you have surgery, but it will heal on its own. And you know what the number one way that people tear their rotator cuff is?
What?
It's in CrossFit and those kinds of gyms where they're working out. Yeah.
And that's where I'm doing it at home, working out, and not with barbells. I've been just using weights. But that's so funny that you say that, because that's what.
Yeah. My orthopedic surgeon friends love these, these extreme workout places because it brings them lots of business. They think it's great. And so I think it's rotator cuff. I think you have a tear, and I just did a healing on it. So hopefully that will help it feel better. In the short run, Marcia, you may want to get a sling, and when it really hurts, just wear a sling, and it'll relieve some of the pressure on it as it's healing.
I do kind of hold it in that position.
Yeah, you can get a sling at the drugstore, at CVS or Walgreens or whatever.
Okay.
So I hope that helps.
Again, that's kind of another really quick question regarding my daughter who lives in.
You know what? Let me put you on hold, and I'll come back to you if I have time. I'm just trying to limit it to one question so I can get as many people on as I can.
Okay. I can call you about her next week. She's not able to call out of the country, but I can call her next week. That's no problem. All right.
Thanks so much. Hope you feel better.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Alrighty, our next caller is Karen. Hi, Karen.
Hi, this is Karen.
How are
Hi,
ya?
Julie.
Hi, girl. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks to our
Terrific.
session a couple weeks ago. Just one thing real quick before I've got a quick personal question. Did you ever hear of what Stewart was saying, that there's that note or tone that you get from an angel that puts your body in balance? Is that a new concept to you?
I'd never heard of that before I met him.
Okay. Because I thought, gosh, that's interesting. I never heard of that. Okay, so my question is, Sunday, this past Sunday, clearly I had a visit from somebody that crossed. In the middle of the day, all of a sudden I had the TV on. I wasn't really paying attention, and the volume just kept scooting up and up and up and up. I, went down to the family room, grabbed the remote, and I was fighting the down button with whatever this was, kept, creeping it up to 100. I didn't know the volume went to 100. And I would go the down button, it kept going up. It's like, okay, I got it. It was someone, and I was just wondering if you can tell me who was visiting me.
Yeah. Is your mom deceased, Karen?
Yes, she is.
It was your mom.
Oh, God love her.
It was your
Okay.
Yeah. So
before
we can ask her. We can ask her why she was messing with your remote. Tell everybody where you're calling from before I forget, please.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm calling from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
And later that day, my daughter got a hold of a VCR, so we were playing all these old movies. VCRs, and most of the people on there had died, so I figured it was one of them.
It was your mom.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julie. I just
You're
love hearing you
welcome.
talk, and your guests and your, the people that are calling in as well. And I'm sending love and blessings to Sarah too. So thank you for taking my call.
Thanks. You take care.
Okay.
Bye. All right. Let's go to Ro next. Hi, Ro. Oh, Ro, I'm going to have to hold you over to the break. Everybody, you're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Ask Julie Ryan show. We were just going to Ro. Hi, Ro. Are you with us? 631 area code. Hello. Are you there? Can you hear me? Okay. Well, maybe not. So let's go to Marisol then. Hi, Marisol.
Hello, hi Julie.
How are you, girl?
Hi. I'm so happy talking to you.
Thank you.
for
You
accepting
too.
my call.
You bet. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
Yes, I'm calling you from Magnolia. This is in Dover, Delaware. From Delaware.
Right. Well, terrific. You got a question
Yes.
for me?
Yes, I would like you to scan my GI system and tell me what is the origin of this acidity that I suffer from, and I have been suffering from for 5 years already. Almost 4 years.
Okay. Marisol, do you have us on speakerphone by any chance? If you do, if you could get us off of speaker, that would be great, because I'm getting some feedback on that. Just if you just hold it up to your
I did it.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. What I'm doing is I'm getting you on my radar. Here comes my laser beam, and got you shooting energy. Okay. So you have heartburn and an acidy stomach. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So I'm getting that calmed down.
Very
It looks
chronic.
Yeah. It looks. Do you take medicine for it, Marisol?
I was taking PPI, proton inhibitor, but I stopped.
Okay. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm applying. You heard me talk about this white energetic cream that has anti-inflammatory properties in it, and it has rocket booster fuel. That's the only way I can think to describe it. It has healing properties in it that just is like putting Miracle Grow on your flowers, and they end up growing twice as big and bloom more and all of that. So I'm calming that down. I'm not seeing yeast necessarily, but I am seeing, have you been on any other meds besides the acid stomach ones? Those PPIs, unfortunately, what they do is they reduce the stomach acid, and then it's too little and it doesn't help digest food. We need some acid to do that. Have you done the gut biome test yet, Marisol?
No, not yet.
Okay.
They did an endoscopy. They have been doing a lot of things, but they don't find the reason why I have this acidity problem.
I think it would make sense for you to do the gut biome test. Email me, Julie at AskJulieRyan.com. I'll send you the link for a little bit of a discount, and let's find out what the superfoods are for you to eat, because you're eating stuff that's not helping your gut heal, and that's where our immune system is based. And especially at this day and age, we want to have a healthy immune system. So I think that's going to be the best thing to do at this point. I'm not seeing yeast overgrowth, but I am seeing a lot of inflammation. And that can come from food that we eat that we think is really healthy. And it is. It's just not healthy for us at any given moment. So email me. I'll shoot you that test. You can do it at home. You don't need a doctor's orders to do it. And let's find out what the Marisol diet is and see if we can get that going.
Okay.
It will also tell you, it's going to tell you what all the critters are in your gut. And we have trillions of them. And it's also going to tell you what digestive enzymes to take based on what's going to be necessary to get a healthy ecosystem in your gut going. I think that's the best thing to do at this point. And let's see what's going on with that.
So you just see inflammation. I don't have any hernia or anything.
No, this is inflammation. This is, I believe it's from food. It's from food, and it's from your gut biome. Yeah, it's from all the critters living in your gut. It's like the ecosystem is out of whack. And so I think that and the medicine that you've been on too. So let's get your gut biome back in shape, and that's going to help relieve those symptoms and keep you healthy.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All righty. Let's go to Marion next. Hi, Marion.
Hi. Can you hear me? I'm on my headphones, so I put it on speaker.
You sound great.
Oh, perfect. All right, they work good.
Yeah. Where are you calling from?
I am calling from the high desert of California. I'm near Joshua Tree.
My husband spent part of his high school years, all of his high school years and junior high school years in, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on it, Apple Valley and Victorville primarily.
Oh, okay.
So that's
only
pretty
half
close,
an hour from
isn't
here,
it?
or about an hour from here. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. His dad was in the Air Force. His dad was stationed at George Air Force Base, which is closed now. But yeah, so Tim has fond memories of Victorville. Played football there, and yeah, really fond memories. Terrific.
That's pretty cool.
So it's a little toasty where you are this time of year.
I'm excited to talk to you because I heard about you today on Michael Sandler's show. I listen to him all the time, and I was like, oh, my gosh. And when I heard about your angel thing, I kept getting chills constantly through the whole thing. And my feeling is confirmation of stuff that you were saying, which I thought was really neat.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So anyway, my question is, so I've been meditating for a year every day religiously. I've tried tapping and everything, but I still have this thyroid issue I've had since 2007. They diagnosed it with Graves'. I hate to say I have, but it's been an ongoing issue that I've had for all these years. And I get a heaviness in my chest and low energy, pressure on my lower back. They've done scans and everything, and they don't find anything wrong. So it's like a little combination of all that with the stomach and everything going on, and then the lower back pain. So it's kind of, I don't know what to start with it, but I can't seem to get rid of it.
Okay. Yet. You need to add yet to the end of that sentence. So have you ever heard of Isabella Wentz? She's a PharmD. She's got her doctorate in pharmacy, and she healed her thyroid with medicine, with food. And she's got a book that's terrific. If you just Google Isabella Wentz, Wentz, and you will. It's called. Her website is thyroidpharmacist.com. Thyroidpharmacist.com. So check her out, number one. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get you on my radar and see if we can get you feeling a little bit better with that here real fast. Okay, I've got that. And all right. So your thyroid, you're on thyroid medication now, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Your thyroid looks like it's asleep. So I'm going to crank it up. I'm going to get it woken up, and hopefully that will help. We're going to go to a break, Marion. So hopefully that will help you feel better. Everyone, you're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show. Stay with us. We'll be back right after the break. Welcome back to the Ask Julie Ryan show. I'm Julie, your host, and we're talking with a bunch of callers from all over this evening. And our next person up is Bridget. Hi, Bridget.
Hey.
Hi, Bridget.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. I'm calling you from Maine, and you referenced the connection that we have earlier on the call. I'm a member of the Warriors of the Radical Light of Christiane Northrup here in Maine.
She's something else. And she's just a phenom.
She is, and she says the same about you. So that's the reason for my call tonight. And I was hoping you could do, a medical scan of my upper torso, particularly, my heart, my lungs, and my liver, and that whole region of my body, because since COVID, I've only had telemedicine visits, and I'm on no medications, but I've felt just different, and I'm wondering if it's because of the transition that's happening in the universe, or if it's my body trying to tell me I need to see some people. Not really sure.
So you're not having any symptoms in particular, Bridget? You just don't feel right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, yeah, I have a pain that's constant in my right side, and then I have either like anxiety in my chest or a tightness in my chest that sometimes makes me feel fluttery, and there's really no reason. I'm happy. I have a great life, but my body's just trying to tell me something, and I don't know what it is.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home Alabama. I say Sweet Home Alabama. I could sing for you, but I don't know that you want to hear me sing.
You can.
Sweet Home Alabama. Da 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 da. And they play that at the football games. It's so fun, and you have 100,000 people going bananas in the stands. It's really
a great song.
Yeah, it really is. I agree. So the University of Alabama has kind of taken over the song, and they think that's their theme song. So, all right, got you. Shooting energy from your feet up to the top of your head. So, are you on hormones? Are you on bioidentical hormones? All right. Are you?
No, I'm on nothing.
Are you postmenopausal?
Yes.
All right. I just shot some energetic estrogen into you, and I think that's going to help a lot. Have you looked into bioidentical hormones? Do you know what they are, Bridget?
I'm aware, and I've been seeing a naturopath for the past 2 years, and I originally went to her as, in seeking hormonal balances, and I think I'm just mismatched because she works with much younger clientele, and she just hasn't really connected any dots for me.
Yeah, and women say to me, I'm just on a little bit of hormones when they're postmenopausal. I'm like, you don't want to be on just a little bit of hormones. You want to be on the hormone levels of a young 30-something when you're young and fertile and popping out babies, because it keeps your brain healthy and your heart healthy and your bones healthy. So bioidentical hormones, for those of you listening that don't know what Bridget and I are talking about, are the hormones that our bodies make when we're young and fertile. And as we age, Bridget, Mother Nature says, ha, we don't really need her anymore because she's not propagating the species. And that's when degenerative things start to set in. That heart flutter, when you talked about that heart flutter, that fluttering in your chest, I thought, oh, this looks like I was getting hormones. But even before I get somebody on my radar, I'm getting what I call divine downloads of information coming into my head. And I got that. So when I shot some energetic estrogen into you, you just perked right up, and your flutters went away. So the best way to find somebody, a couple of ways. Do you have a pen? I'll give you a couple of websites. The first one is called I as in igloo, F as in Frank, M as in Mary, ifm.org. Stands for the Institute for Functional Medicine. You can put your zip code in there and find a doctor in your area. And then the other one is called the letter A, the number 4, the letter M.com, A4M.com, and that stands for the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. Those two are places where you can find somebody, but I think the best way to find a doctor is to call a compounding pharmacy in your area. Do you know what that is, a compounding pharmacy?
I do.
Okay, for those of you listening that have never heard that term before, it's a pharmacy that makes prescriptions for patients, kind of like an old-fashioned pharmacy used to, they put ingredients in a bowl and they'd have that little mallet thing and they'd crush it up and make all kinds of medicines. So a compounding pharmacy, call them, Bridget, and ask them who in the area is doing bioidentical hormone replacement.
Okay, great.
And they'll tell you who the doctors are that are writing prescriptions that they're filling. That's, I think, a great way to find a doctor. And and I think that's going to help a lot. As far as upper torso on the right side, do you have a chiropractor that you see?
I could. I haven't been in a while because they tend to focus on my neck.
You're a bit of a twisted sister. You're a twisted sister. So I just watched a chiropractic adjustment happen, and your spine's just out of alignment, and your right hip is a little in front of your left hip. So I watched that get straightened out. I really think with an adjustment that's going to help a lot with the tightness.
Thank you.
And the right side. All this stuff's super easy to fix.
Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear, because I've got 3 little grandkids, and I want to stay the pace for them.
Yes, absolutely. I understand. Well, thanks so much for calling in this evening.
Thank you for taking my call, and you have a great evening.
Bet. Take care. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, let's go to Brooke next. Hi, Brooke.
Hi. So good to connect with you, Julie.
You too. How are you?
I'm great. And I found out about you through the beautiful interview with Stewart Pearce.
Oh, he is something else, isn't he? He is just, he and I.
Well, you're something else too.
Oh, thanks. He is just really a remarkable guy and has a lot going on. And I was honored to be one of his 12 women that he was interviewing this year of I don't know what he called it, women that were changing the world or something. So I was like, oh my God, when I got the email invitation, it brought tears to my eyes. I was so amazed and humbled. So, well, wonderful. Well, welcome. Where are you calling in from, Brooke?
Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Oh, speaking of wonderful energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrific. Well, you got a question for me?
Yes. I'd like to connect with my father who's transitioned. If you can, I'd appreciate it.
What's his name?
Boyd.
Boyd. Okay. All right. He's standing right next to you, to your right. When our heads are like big satellite dishes, Brooke, and every spirit has their own frequency. So whenever we want to talk to a spirit, whether it's somebody that we knew or not, it doesn't matter. You can talk to Napoleon or Aristotle or Plato or whomever. You just think of them, and that tunes our satellite dish head to their frequency. And spirits keep the same frequency throughout all their lifetimes. So it makes it really easy, and it's almost like you're tuning into a radio station. So your dad is standing to your right, and I find it, if we want to prime the pump a little bit just to get the conversation started, do you have a question you'd like to ask him?
I want to know if he has any words about his will and what happened.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, what happened with the settlement with Sharon, his wife, and the settlement of the estate? If he has any clear information, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, spirits are super literal, so we want to ask really specific questions. So was she left out of the will? Was she in the will? What in particular are you interested in?
So she got everything in his will. But privately, he was always saying to me, don't worry, when I pass, you'll be well taken care of.
Okay.
So there's a contradiction.
Uh-huh. Was he sick at the end of his life, Brooke?
No.
Okay. I'm getting there's some manipulation that went on, a lot of manipulation. All right, so why didn't Brooke get anything out of your will? She was supposed to. Okay, so did Sharon change it? Yes. Were you aware of it? No. I would think he must have signed off on it, right?
Right, he did.
Okay. So was he wasn't having any health issues, you were saying, at the end of his life, like, wasn't aware of what was going on?
Yeah, so I took it, there was only 2 points of contention on a will, which is insanity or undue influence. So I pursued undue influence.
And did you have any luck with it? Did you have any luck when you pursued that?
We settled for a really minor settlement, and that's why I just wanted to really know his truth about it, whether I should return. The clear question is, should I return back to Sharon and pursue getting a better settlement?
Yes. That came in mid-sentence. Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's saying be careful with the lawyer fees.
Right.
Because you can spend a lot of money on that. So I hope that helps. Thanks for calling in, Brooke. Good luck. Good luck with that.
Thank you, Julie.
You bet.
You.
Everybody stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. We'll be back right after the break. Welcome back to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. We are talking with people from all over about all kinds of questions, which makes it really fun to see what their questions are and see what the answers are that we get from spirit and beyond, spirit and angels and God and our deceased loved ones and everybody in the non-physical world, not necessarily in that order of importance, obviously. We do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 712-775-7035, and the access code is 483620#. Now, this information can be found a whole bunch of different places, obviously on my website at AskJulieRyan.com, and in the show notes, anywhere you download podcasts. We're also on YouTube and Alexa. So when you're downloading, please remember to subscribe and leave a review. I love to hear what you think about the show, and if you have any suggestions of how I can make it better, I always love to hear those as well. By the way, when I started doing radio, my podcast hosting site changed. So if you're not getting the up-to-date shows, you may want to delete the Ask Julie Ryan subscription and then do a search on it and resubscribe, and you'll be on the new one. Let's see. Call-in details can also be found on Instagram and Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan, and on Twitter at Ask Julie Ryan. And I'll post a reminder to call in the day of the show. It'll just say, hey, we're doing the show tonight. If you got a question, call in. And while you're on my website at AskJulieRyan.com, be sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter. And it's a question somebody submitted online along with my answer. You can also schedule an appointment there, and then we'll have a whole hour to talk about whatever you want. We can scan you medically, we can scan your pets, we can do past life stuff, talk to deceased loved ones, all this stuff we do on the show, and we can do multiple things in the hour that we have together. When you go on to schedule, I'm booked out for a couple of months, but go ahead and get on my calendar, because then when you get your confirmation email that'll come as soon as you pick a date and time, it'll have a reschedule button down at the bottom of that confirmation email. Just click on that every once in a while when you think about it, and appointments that are sooner will show up. People reschedule all the time. Just during the time I've been doing this show, I've had 3 people. I've seen emails come in of 3 people that have rescheduled. So appointments come up all the time. Everything you need to know can be found at AskJulieRyan.com. By the way, before I forget, I approved all the illustrations for my new children's book, Angel Messages for Dogs. It is so cute, you guys. Wait till you see it. It'll be out, I'm hoping by sometime in October is what we're shooting for, but it is just darling. And so I'm eager to hear what you think about that. Okay, this week we had a question come in from Ingrid, and Ingrid lives in Naseby, New Zealand. And she says, hi, Julie. With delight, I listen to your podcast, and I'm a follower of you and Suzanne Giesman. Suzanne is a medium who was a former Navy commander. She's a retired Navy officer, and she is just a doll. And I've been on her show, and she's been on my show. So Suzanne Giesman is how Ingrid found me. I heard about your divine sacred gifts and hope you can do a healing with angelic surgical/medical operations on my eyes. My left eye is 90% blind because yucca leaves pierced my retina. That sounds painful. And the injury left debris and formed scar tissue that's blocking the nutrition channels to the main blood vessels that feed my retinal nerve. The vision in both of my eyes is extremely blurry. Please ask your divine angelic surgical team to restore and repair both of my eyes to full clear vision again. Thank you for your loving kindness and compassion to help me heal. Ingrid. And here's my response. Hi, Ingrid. Thanks for listening to my show and for your question. I energetically connected to you in New Zealand and saw, in quotes, in my mind's eye, several healings take place on your eyes. First, I watched the retina in your left eye get removed and a new retina put in its place. It looked like a gelatinous contact lens and was installed on the back of your eye. That's where the retina is. It's kind of on the back of the eye. The Doheny Eye Institute at UCLA says, quote, the retina of the eye contains millions of highly specialized cells. Some of the cells capture images, in parentheses, in the form of light from the visual field. Others carry the information to the brain where it's translated into what we see, end quote. The reason why I picked a quote from them was because they were a client of mine back in the 80s when I was a hospital supply sales rep in Los Angeles. And so I love the Doheny Eye Institute. Well, I just kind of got warm fuzzies when I saw that on my search. I went on to say, next, I watched, again in my mind's eye, the optic nerve in your left eye get cleaned out. I then used stem cell energy to regenerate it. Since the optic nerve transfers visual information from the retina to the vision centers of the brain via electrical impulses, this should help improve your vision. basically I rotor-rooted out her optic nerve and then use stem cell energy to regenerate it. And when I'm cleaning out a nerve, by the way, you guys, what I watch is this little tiny corkscrew like you would use to open a bottle of wine. I watch it get rotating in the inside of a nerve, and it tunnels through it and it cleans it out, and then I watch it get irrigated, and then stem cell energy goes in to regenerate the tissue. I went on to say, then I worked on your right eye and did the same healing on that optic nerve. In addition, it looked like you were developing a cataract, so I removed it and inserted a new lens. After the healings, while checking your eyes, I noticed your vision was crisper and you were now able to perceive vibrant colors and light. In addition, the healings gave you monovision. That cracked me up. Your left eye was adjusted for distance while your right eye was now nearsighted. When having LASIK or cataract surgery, ophthalmologists often implement monovision so their patients won't need glasses. I sure hope these healings help you see more clearly. So I thought that was remarkable that the healing gave Ingrid monovision, so she didn't need contacts or glasses. I mean, it's so fun to watch what Spirit does as they work through me and with me in these healings, because oftentimes it ends up healing things that in a different way and even better than what I had anticipated a full healing to be. So I'll be eager to hear what Ingrid thinks about that. With that. So Ingrid from Naseby, New Zealand, thanks so much for submitting that question. Any of you that can't call into the show because you're working or you got little kids or whatever, just send an email through my website, and then it may be chosen and answered on the show. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. When we come back, we'll get some more callers on. Welcome back to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Let's go back to the phones, and I believe our next caller is Jackie. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. Hello.
Oh, good. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, girl?
I'm fine. I just wanted to call in because I had a session with you, and we had worked on what you said was a torn meniscus in my right knee.
Yeah.
And it's doing pretty well, but one of the things that I think might be associated with it in the healing process or whatever is there's maybe a muscle that's pulled or something in the back of that right thigh near the knee, but I can feel it sort of pulling. I mean, I think it might be a pulled muscle, but I'm really not sure. So I was wondering if you might be able to just see if the knee is healing and if that muscle is the issue.
Sure, absolutely. Please tell everybody where you're calling in from.
I'm calling from Springfield, Virginia.
All right, Virginia. All right, here we go. Let me get you on my radar. Okay. Here's my laser beam. Got you shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. All right, I'm in the back of your knee. Looks like, yeah. Right knee, correct? That's
correct.
Where the energy went. All right, it looks like a ligament thing. Let me tighten it.
It is a ligament.
It looks like it's a ligament thing to me. Let me get that tightened. It looks like you stretched it. Like you maybe
that's possible.
Tweaked it some. What have you been doing? Have you been being a wild child down there?
I've been exercising. I mean, I always do stretch, but I always worry about, am I stretching too much? Am I, I'm not, I mean, I think I'm doing pretty well, but does the meniscus look okay, or did it have anything to do with that?
I'm still on the ligament, so I haven't gotten to the meniscus yet. The ligament is what came up on my screen in my head.
Oh, good.
my radar screen in my head first. So what I'm doing is I'm just tightening that, and kind of like, have you ever had a pair of pants or something where the elastic, maybe a pair of gym shorts where the elastic kind of got stretched out in the waist or in the thighs? Yeah, that's what it looks like. So what I did was I watched it get cut, and then reattached, a little bit of it removed and then reattached so that it'll be nice and tight. So just take it easy on that. I've put anti-inflammatory energy on it just to calm it down. Okay, meniscus looks good. It is
really
healing nicely. Yes, really good.
Oh, that
the
is
flap
so
is down.
awesome.
Yeah, the flap is down. We used stem cell energy on it before. And you know, when you have a cut and it's healing and it's just that new pink tissue that's on it that's tender.
Right.
So don't be doing anything crazy, but just take it easy.
Okay.
And
but I mean, like
walking
is fine.
Yeah, walking is fine, but don't be, a female Evel Knievel doing wild stuff.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything wild, but I'm just, I'm always having a problem with just judging if I have an issue like, okay, is this too far? Because before I was doing a lot of yoga and stuff like that. I'm trying to be not quite, do as much, but then again, should I just not do it for a while? I'm not so sure.
No, I think keep moving, but just you, if I remember correctly, you are a pusher. You will do a lot of stuff and you push yourself. So let your body heal on this. Keep moving, but just don't do anything really intense.
Okay, sounds great. So I shouldn't feel that pull that I was feeling before. As
it's going to heal. It'll heal.
Yeah.
It'll heal. You may feel it while it's healing, but it'll heal. You're a really good healer.
Oh, I sure hope so. You're a much better healer, really.
But what happens, Jackie, is the healings that I do, it's spirit working through me and with me, and it happens on the energetic level. You know this because we've done a private session or several.
Right.
And it happens on the energetic level, and then it integrates into your body, and that can happen instantly. It can take days, weeks, months. It may need some kind of complementary care, like change in diet or surgery or whatever. But it's all determined by what our spirit wants to experience. So for you, it's letting your body rest so it can heal. Now, I think you need to keep moving, but just don't do anything crazy.
Okay, that's good to hear because that's me, just knowing how far to go with it. But yeah, I just thought maybe it was related to the knee because it just so happened when the knee was having a problem and it was healing. So apparently it doesn't seem to be related.
I think it's healing, and I think you're going to be good as gold here shortly.
Sounds pretty awesome.
Okay, thanks for calling.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care. Bye, Jackie.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go to Denise next. Hi, Denise.
Hello.
How are you? I'm great. How are you?
All right, hanging in there.
Great. Please tell everybody where you're calling us from.
I'm from Jackson, New Jersey.
Okay. Got a question for me?
Yeah, my question is, I've been having a lot of esophageal problems lately, and I just want to make sure it's all right. I'm having pain in my chest and to my left side also, but like swallowing, and I just wanted to know if it's like a hiatal hernia, if it's big. I have a doctor appointment in 2 weeks, and I just want to make sure that, nothing's going to get worse before then.
Okay. So here comes my laser beam, Denise, and I've got you shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. When I say I got you on my radar, you look like a hologram. Kind of, did you ever watch Star Trek, the movie or the TV show? Beam me up, Scotty. You know how it turned Mr. Spock into a hologram of himself? That's what it looks like in my head. All right, so got that. Yeah, left side. Yes, you have a hiatal hernia. I'm going to scoop it out. It looks like a sore. Have you ever seen a pressure sore, perhaps on an old elderly person that is laying in bed and can't move?
Yeah.
So I've scooped it out, and then I'm putting stem cell energy in there to fill up that divot where it came out of your esophageal tissue. Stem cell energy looks like a light amber colored gel, has sparkles in it, has a watery consistency to it, and what's happening is that's filling the divot. There's a vortex that's formed above it that is spinning, that will transform the stem cell energy into new esophageal tissue. In the meantime, if you can, just try and stay low on the food chain. That'll help you not being in as much pain.
Yeah, it's hard to eat. Everything hard to swallow.
Yeah,
I'm getting really nervous, actually.
Yeah.
And it's like
it'll
I feel
heal.
like I'm short of breath, and because that caused the pain in my chest, my left side. Like I feel like I'm having a heart attack.
I know.
And then it's my
it can
lower
be
back.
really intense. Yeah. Yeah, it can be really intense. So hopefully this healing will help in the short run. And stay low on the food chain. Email me. I'll send you that gut biome test that you can get that done. That's usually what will help the most is let's figure out what are the best foods for you to eat, because food is the best medicine.
Exactly.
And it will heal. Stay away from fermented foods, wine, beer, alcohol, sugar, anything processed. Try and stay with foods that have few, if any, ingredients, like chicken, has one ingredient, or an apple has one ingredient. Try and stay with whole foods, and I think you're going to feel a lot better if you can do that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, hope that helps. You bet.
Okay.
Thanks for calling. Bye.
All right, have a good night. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye. All righty, let's go to Deborah next. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Deborah. 805 area code.
Oh.
Deborah. There you are. Hi.
Do you mean Kate?
Well, I have Deborah Drucker on my dashboard.
Oh, that's so weird. That's my mom. But yes,
that's your mom.
Kate. Hi.
Does your mom pay your cell phone bill?
No, she doesn't. That's why I was like, huh? Like, she does not.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, hi. I'm so
805.
glad.
Where are you? Are you in Ventura County?
I'm in California right now. Yes, I'm in Southern California.
Yeah. Okay. Terrific. Well, you got a question for me?
I do. I'm just curious about, I don't have any serious health issues at the moment, but just kind of an ongoing issue, though, with my moon cycle. And I wanted to get some insight into whether there's any hormonal imbalances you're picking up on or anything that you think would be helpful for me to know.
Okay. How young are you, Kate? How young are you? Are you still there? Yes, I can.
Hello?
Yeah, there, I can hear you now. I was asking your age. How young are you?
Oh, I'm 33.
Okay. All right. Have you had babies recently in the past few years? Okay. All right. So here comes my laser beam heading out to you, because sometimes when women have babies, their hormones get out of whack. And so they need to get regulated, just kind of balanced out again. And then they're smooth sailing from there. But, all right, got you. Are you having some symptoms?
It's more, well, I do have I'll have painful periods, and it's more also just leading up, having anxiety and bloating, just a difficult luteal phase, basically.
Yeah. That's usually hormonal. Have you had an endometriosis issue in your life?
I've never been examined for it, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, that's what I'm seeing. So what I'm doing is an energetic DNC, basically, to get the endometrial tissue out of there. I do think it makes sense for you to see somebody who specializes in bioidentical hormones. What I was saying before, if you call a compounding pharmacy in your area and just ask who does bioidentical hormones, they'll give you some names of doctors in your area, and I think that's the best way to find somebody. Yes, I would go see somebody about that and get on some I don't think you're going to need to be on them very long, but just to kind of get you regulated, and hopefully that will help. Thanks for calling, Kate.
Thank you.
Everybody, stay with us. We're going to take a break, and you're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show. So we'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Ask Julie Ryan show. Let's go back to the phones, and I believe our next caller is Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Julie. I am in Florida, and I have been experiencing phenomenal fatigue for about 6 weeks or 2 months or something. And if there's a little right knee work that can be done, I'd like that. But the fatigue, I would love some insight into it.
Okay, and it's just all of a sudden, like you said, in the past 6 weeks, Amy?
Well, yeah, it's been different phases of my life, but it's been just crazy fatigue.
Yeah, I've got you on my radar just for time's sake. You look like a wilting flower. Are you? Have you been exposed to something that you're not normally exposed to? Like, do you have mold in your house or anything like that? I'm not seeing mold in your energy field, but it's worth asking.
Well, I had in my other house, I did, but I'm not there. So.
Okay, how long have you been out of there?
But you're not seeing that as the factor.
How long have you been out of your other house with the mold issue?
A year and a half.
Okay. Yeah. It's like the nutrients aren't absorbing in your system. So I'm not seeing inflammation. You just look like you're not absorbing. I would do the gut biome test. Email me, julie@askjulieryan.com. I'll send you the link. It's for a little bit of a discount. Go ahead and get that done. And let's see what your superfoods are for you to eat and what foods to avoid you're not absorbing for some reason. So that can be from a lot of different reasons, but food is the best medicine. That would be the first place I would start. And then what's going on with your right knee real quickly?
I injured it, and it's been a long time, but I think it's a meniscus. But it's really super flared up right now. And if there's some gel that can go in there, I would love it.
Yeah. I do see a meniscal tear, but I watched it get adjusted first. Do you see a chiropractor?
I haven't for a while.
Yeah. I saw it get, you know how they'll grab your ankle and pull your knee out? They'll like grab your ankle and kind of pull on it, and it makes your knee pop. I just watched that, and it was a loud pop. So I think that's going to help too with that. The meniscus is healing. It's not all the way. What I'm doing is I'm stitching it and then putting a little stem cell energy on there to get it to heal faster. Little vortexes forming above it. This stem cell energy, Amy, is so cool because it'll regenerate whatever body part we need. And
I would like a full body stem cell.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny about that is when I see, it's usually women that have osteoporosis and they have holes in their bones, I'll watch their whole skeleton come out of their body and get dipped in this big vat of this stem cell energy, and it reminds me of Dippity Doo. Do you remember that old hair gel?
Yeah, I do. I am old enough to know that, yes.
Yeah, me too. And then I'll watch it, and then there'll be a big vortex above them and in front and on either side of them and in back of them. It's a riot, but it works great. So hopefully that'll help. I would do the gut biome test. This is something to do with your gut you're just not absorbing. So see if that'll help.
And I've heard you before, and you're pretty good at picking up mold. So that's good.
I am. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, but it could be leftover remnants of mold. The fact that I got in my head to ask you that question, that's what I call a divine download. I was led. Does that sound Southern for you? I was led to ask you about mold, even though I wasn't seeing it. So there you go.
So it may. So is it a possibility that it's kind of coming out of me, and that's exhausting too, or is that not? Is that out of the realm of things?
I think you're healing from the mold exposure, but your body's just not absorbing nutrients at the moment for whatever reason. You may be exposed to something else. And again, food is the best medicine. So let's find out what the best food is for you to eat. Okay. All right. Hope you feel better.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You bet. Thanks for calling, Amy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I appreciate it.
Okay, let's go to Daisy. Hi, Daisy. Hi, Daisy.
Oh, hi. I'm calling from Florida.
Well, good. You're my two Florida girls back to back. How are you?
Oh, okay. I was hoping you could scan my head. Something's not right. It feels very out of balance, and I kept getting headaches on the right side, and also the right eye hurt.
Yeah. It's sinus,
I have
Daisy.
hearing loss on the left side.
Yeah.
It's just off balance. It's out of whack.
Yep, it's sinus. You got sinus stuff going on. What I'm doing is I've used anti-inflammatory energy. Your sinuses are inflamed, especially the right side. And
That's what a lot of times for no reason whatsoever, I cannot breathe through the right side.
Yeah. Go get one of those sinus rinse deals. They have neti pots. They have other versions of that. And rinse your sinus with saline. And that's going to help and you've got sinus going on. I'm not seeing an infection, but I'm seeing congestion. So I cleared them out. When I see an infection, I see antibiotic energy, which is kind of a fuchsia color. And I'm not seeing that with you. So go get one of those sinus rinses and start using that, and that'll help.
What about the eyes? Is there any reason why every time I get out of bed or get up from my chair when I'm sitting, I get dizzy?
Yeah, your sinuses are congested, and so it's messing up your eustachian tubes and your balance and stuff. So that's what I'm saying. If you rinse out your sinuses, I think it's going to help relieve that congestion, which will make that go away.
Is that also why my throat makes weird noises when I'm falling asleep, when I'm relaxed, when I'm right before I fall asleep? My throat makes all kinds of weird noises.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. So I think it's sinus. Go get one of those sinus rinse things. You can get them at the drugstore or at Target, and that'll help a lot. So I hope that helps you feel better.
You see anything on the left ear?
Thanks for calling. I'm going to need to let you go. But thanks for calling this evening. I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. That's it for this week. Stewart Pearce. You can follow him. Go to Stewart, S-T-E-W-A-R-T, Pearce, Pearce.com. I'll put that in the show notes. StewartPearce.com. We'll have a new project for you.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan, and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.